from here, booktubes. Today is my February reading wrap up. In February, I did have a bit of a reading slump and I read 24 books. I DNF'd 7 of them, and so I'm going to talk about 17. Hey, I forgot to say there will not be a top 5 for February. I didn't read enough books that I loved. So the next video will be a vlog. No top 5 for February. Very first one is Do Nothing by Celeste Headlee. This is a nonfiction book. I gave it 4 stars. It is about kind of the workforce and the culture of hustle and grind and how these are not necessarily good things for us. It was very interesting. It goes into slavery, it goes into the Industrial Revolution. It featured Horatio Alger, which was an author that I read quite a bit growing up, so I found that to be very interesting. It also talks about how capitalism benefits by kind of working people to no end. And then it had some practical tips and some self-application on an individual basis about what you can do even though you live in this society. So overall, I found it very interesting. She also has a book about communication and another one about communicating about race, I think. And I'd be interested in reading more by her. I also watched one of her TED Talks, very interesting. Then I had The Exhibition by Alexandria House. This is like a 13-page erotica novelette, and I give it 5 stars. It is one scene. It is black love, of course, because it's Alexandria House. You have a woman who goes to, it's kind of like a high-end sex club type thing, I don't really know, and has 2 men. So it was good. I loved it. Then I have Iron Magic, which is Kate Daniels 9.5, and The Iron Covenant #1 by Ilona Andrews. I give this 5 stars. I did struggle to get through this book, but that was very much me, not the book. This is a reread for me. This follows Hugh, who is one of the villains of the Kate Daniels series. You get a morally gray anti-hero, morality chain, marriage of convenience, hate to love, even though the love's a bit tremulous still at the end, and it's really good, but you do kind of need to have read Kate Daniels first if you plan on reading Kate Daniels. I feel like if you didn't plan on reading Kate Daniels, you could read this if this just sounds like more of your jam, but some things are going to be better with context. Next I have Magic Triumphs, which is Kate Daniels #10, the final book in the series by Ilona Andrews. I of course gave this 5 stars. Again, a reread for me. This one, I love the way that the whole series ends. It feels true to the characters and the world and the magic and the overall plot line, and I just really love it. And I love the kind of escalation we saw in their personal life as well in this book, as well as, you know, the final battle, the showdown, all the things, and the things that were set up for the spin-off series. Very enjoyable, loved everything about it. I have No Longer Afraid, which is Predators MC #1 by Christina C. Jones. This is the first in a duet, so it does end on a cliffhanger. I gave it 4 stars. I did struggle a little bit with this one. You definitely need some of the context of her other books like Ante Up, Deuces Wild, The Revolution of the Rose, The Reinvention of the Rose, which I haven't read that one, but definitely would help. And also maybe next time. So you're going to do better with these books if you have the context of those books. Technically you can read it as standalone, but I don't feel it works super well as a standalone. So for this we have the vice president, the female vice president of the motorcycle club, and the kind of ex-assassin who is the new recruit of the club, and she doesn't like him at all, and she's digging into his past and stuff. He definitely likes her, and it's their romance, like I said, ends on a cliffhanger. And the second book is the next book that Christina C. Jones will be publishing, either in March or April. Then I have Meet Cute Club by Jack Harbon. I gave this 2 stars. I really like Jack Harbon as a person, but I don't think that his books are necessarily for me. I haven't absolutely adored any of the ones that I picked up, and I just think the writing is not my personal taste, and that's fine. This is a male-male romance, and you have a guy that works in a bookstore and a guy that runs a romance book club, and the guy that runs the romance book club, his entire personality was the book club, and that was like all he had to live for in his life and all he cared about and was everything that he was obsessed with. And then when we get the very unnecessary third act breakup, he's like, no, I need to grow up and stop reading those romance books, which just felt weird. Like that was his entire character was that he was a romance reader and he was going to give up for a guy that he dated 2 months. And the breakup was unnecessary. I didn't really love any of it. I did like the beginning, but it just kept going down for me from there. Then I have Love for My Zombie Kings, Zombies Rule the World #1 by Leesha, McCoy. I gave this 4 stars. This is a 5 zombie brothers and their one queen who is a scientist, a DNA scientist, and they have extra chromosomes, and they're like zombie shifters. So they have a humanoid form and a zombie form. If you are interested in this book out of curiosity, go for it. If you're like, don't. There's a lot of disgusting things, and you probably won't have a fun time if you're not immediately like, my interest is piqued. Then I read Babies for My Zombie Kings, which is Zombies Rule the World #2 by Leesha McCoy. I gave this 4 stars. I don't know what to tell you. The whole plot was interesting. Then I read The Minotaur and the Muse by Moira Scott, and I gave this 3 stars. I did not love this one. It was very basic. It didn't really get into anything. It was just very surface level writing is what it felt like to me. You have an assassin goddess who goes into the labyrinth and is there to kill the Minotaur, and of course doesn't, and the Minotaur is like a cinnamon roll virgin hero who also kills people but doesn't like to kill people. It's because of torture from his father and stuff, who's using him as his threat. That's all. It's short, it's fine. Then I have The Alpha's Affair, which is Hamilton Brothers #2 by Drea Anderson. I gave this 4 stars. I have not read any other books in the series. This is a bear shifter alpha and a witch, and it was black love, and it was very low angst, very low conflict, very sweet and steamy. I really enjoyed it. There is a little bit of angst with whether or not the bear clan will accept a witch as their female alpha. And that was really it. I just really loved it. It's also a workplace romance, and she's worried about her job if she gets involved with him, and his bear is like mate, and he's a very calm alpha, but that doesn't take away from his strength, and I absolutely loved it and will be reading more by the author. Then I had The World for My Zombie Kings, which is Zombies Rule the World #3 by Leesha McCoy. I gave this 2 stars. This is the end about the same group polyamorous couple. The 4th book is about their oldest daughter. I felt like this was too long. I just wasn't into a lot of it. Tracy still liked it, but I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I don't care. But yeah, basically you get world peace and the elimination of zombies by the zombie royalty, who are our main characters. So there you go. Then I have The Battle Princess Prize by Nikki Clark. I gave this 4 stars. This is a novella. It's still alien sci-fi, but it's more of a fantasy version. And it was like kind of like a gladiator competition, but between royalty. I loved it. I loved it. It was really good. He was instantly like, her, I want the human. It was short and it was good. Then I have Secrets, which is Web of Sin #1 by Aletha Romig. I gave this 4 stars. This is a Mafia romance, and he's always known that she was his. She was warned never to go to Chicago. She goes, and he's like, in a week you're gonna move in with me, or your company and your best friend and all these other people are going to pay for it. And it's very over the top, very dramatic. The guy is not nice. He is an alpha hole and also very toxic, red flags, does a lot of things that I'm not okay with, definitely is too pushy physically, and doesn't listen to her and just says, in time, you'll know. I gave it 4 stars. There's content warning for child trafficking and child pornography pictures mentioned, and, you know, lots of murder and such. It's not good. but I liked it, but it's not good. Then I read The Gorse and Traveler Incident, which is Vessler Mates #1 by Lauren Donner. I gave this 4 stars. This is probably the book by Lauren Donner I've enjoyed the most besides her New Species series. You have a civilian human and she's on this battleship and she locks it down because there's this alien race that is eating people, and the Vesslers get the distress signal and one of them is her mate. Also, alien babies. Also, though, there was it's alien shifters and they do stuff in both forms and it was kind of weird. Then I have Alejandro's Prey, which is the Queen's 1.5 by Nikita Slater. I give this 3 stars. Again, very over the top, alpha hole, not taking the care with her that he should. A lot of mean things said and then make up sex, and then mean things said and then make up sex, and I'm just not a fan of that. Then I read Lies by Kylie Scott. She dumps him and then her apartment blows up, and it turns out that he's a secret agent and he was a mediocre man on purpose trying to blend in, and she was part of his cover, but maybe he actually loves her, but people are trying to kill them and they're on the run together, but can she trust him? And the last 20% I felt like was pretty dumb. It was all pretty predictable. I did kind of enjoy it overall though. So there you go. And then lastly, I have Lies again, which is Web of Sin #2 by Alethea Romig. I gave this 3 stars. This couple is so toxic. They're so toxic. If you do not like alpha holes and toxic relationships, you are not going to like this series. It's not good. Am I currently reading book 3? Yes. Did I stay up and read this late last night and then wake up in the middle of the night and couldn't sleep and read it some more? Yes. But is it good? No, it's not good. It's not good. She's kind of like a long lost Mafia heir, and there's all these battles over her because she supposedly has some evidence even though she was an infant when she went missing. It's all very, if I don't have it figured out, I'm gonna be shocked out of my mind. It seems to be very predictable, but it's yeah, he's very toxic, all in the name of safety, but it's not. And there's some physical stuff, and yeah, it's not good, but I am reading it. So that's it. That's all the books I read in February. Sorry if this is a little lackluster. Honestly, I didn't really love most of the books that I read. And I'm kind of low energy today. So there you go. That's all I got. Sorry. Thanks for watching. Bye.